Okay, we're recording. I am super excited. Today's a little bit of a different topic, and I think that everybody's gone through this at one point or time in their business. So it's going to be all about like good seeds, bad seeds, and how to pray people in and pray people out of this business. So again, I have been loving the way that we've been doing these recently, where if you other leaders who are Ruby and above have anything to add, just like unmute yourself and you can totally pipe in. Or if you guys have questions, just put them in the chats and we'll answer them at the end. So thank you for hopping on in advance. And I want you to first drop a 1 in the comments, because if you're in the leadership chat or you're on this Zoom right now, that means you're at least boxed for Ruby or above, or you've been showing major leadership skills. So I want you to drop a 1 in the comments if you have ever enrolled somebody who either didn't work or ended up quitting within their first 30 days. I will drop a 1 as well. Mom. Hi. Yep, remember we talked about Mommy's gonna do a call really quick. Oh, hang on, let me pause this. Okay, sorry. Okay, so there's a ton of 1s in the comments, which I love. So first of all, I want to start by saying, and I've said this in a lot of other Zooms, but it's just a quote that literally can be applied to anything, both in this business and in your personal life, is that you are not, like, we so often think that we are like an exception, right? But in fact, we are the majority. So when people quit, when something happens with your chart or an entire leg cancels out, or we think that people don't reply or whatever, and this is just us and we're just an exception. No, you are a part of a majority. Every single distributor, I don't care if you're Pam Souter or Cami Pentecost, has enrolled someone who has joined and then never talked to them again, okay? This is going to happen to you more times than not, in fact, okay? This business, anyone can do, but it is absolutely not for everyone. And having said that, some people will join, they won't talk to you for 6 months after they click submit, and then they end up texting you saying, hey, something came up, I know I totally ghosted you, but I really need this right now. Is there any way that I can jump back in? And we will always be the team that opens them with welcome arms when they want to come back, okay? I wanna make that super clear. You never shut anybody out. You never give up on anybody. She is you. You are me. We are all the same in this business or not, okay? So we need to treat each other as such. But I really want to talk today about what this means for you, what this means for your promotion, how to overcome these feelings, etc. So as I'm going along, like I said, just put your questions in the comments or whatever. But first of all, if you're boxed for Ruby, or even if you're boxed for Diamond, and I say this all the time, it is a little bit harder, I don't want to say impossible, but it's a little bit harder to go double Diamond and above without anyone working on your downline, right? It's going to take a lot of work. That's not to say that it can't be done, but it's going to take a lot of work. Diamond and below, Executive, Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, you can do those on your own. You can absolutely pull in 8,000 in group volume and 16 distributors by yourself over the next 90 days. So I don't care, and your team doesn't care, and you shouldn't care if anyone's working. This is your promotion and your paycheck. If you want a Diamond paycheck, it's on you. So your first goal is going to be enrolling those 16 distributors, right? Again, if all 16 join and they all turn off their e-suites the minute after, that's okay. You've got the boxes filled, and we can still worry about your promotion. So let's talk about Ruby for a sec. 3 distributors, 2,000 in group volume, totally doable. I went Ruby on my own in my first 3 weeks, okay? Everybody's journey is different. For some people, it takes them a year to go Ruby. For some people, it takes them 4 years to go Ruby. For some people, it literally takes 4 hours, and I'm super jealous. So, like, it just depends on who you are, where you come from. Some of these people are coming from other network marketing companies and are bringing their prior customers with them. Like, you never know what their charts look like. You never know where they're coming from, so don't compare yourself. And we have an entire training on keeping your blinders on and making sure that you're not comparing. So I'm not going to touch too much on that. But You can do it on your own. It is so much more fun to do it with more people, you guys, but try not to let it affect you personally so much, because they're not quitting on you. They're not quitting because it work sucks. They're not, no, it's none of that. All these preconceived notions are these things that we think they're quitting for. They're quitting on themselves. And that's the gosh darn truth. And they're quitting on their paycheck and their business and their why. And that's not your problem. Okay? That's not up to you. It's not up to me. So does it sting a little bit when I spend so much time enrolling somebody or pouring into somebody? Some people even will work for 6 months, go Ruby, and then they fall off the face of the planet. If I got upset about that every time it happened, I wouldn't be here today. I literally wouldn't be, because it would eat you alive. I can't tell you how many thousands of distributors are on my tree viewer that are canceled out or are not working. You guys, I have like 60 to 70 solid DTs right now who are working, and you guys are incredible. But think about those statistics, right? Like out of every 10 people, and I'm going to jump into a different topic for a sec. There are two different types of people in this business, and I don't think there's a wrong or a right way to be one or the other, but typically you fall into one of these two categories. Pam Souter, for example, may not be, or wasn't when she first started necessarily, a mass enroller. I'm kind of just using her as an example. I totally don't know that this is the case, but based off of what I've heard from her a couple times, this is kind of what it makes me feel like. So there's person one who enrolls 3 distributors and 6 loyal customers, only completes their steps to success. There are steps to success like golden rule thumb person, okay? And all 3 of those people, they make sure and are holding their hand so hard, and they don't hire anybody who isn't truly wanting this, okay? So these are 3 runners. They get these 3 people to work. So when we say you only need 3 people to get to the top of the company, that's so true. You only need your 3 legs, but these people got to want it as bad as you do. Okay. So you are a steps to success person, or there's the other person, which is the category that I fall into. Again, I don't think that there is a right or wrong one, where you mass enroll. And I'm sorry, but I will let absolutely anyone join this business, and I'm not picky about signing distributors because I like to make my own fast starts and I like to be in charge of my cabs. So I'm willing to get anyone in the system to fill a box for somebody, because I know I and the person that I'm placing it under can pull in the volume regardless of whether or not this person does. And I would absolutely love to help this person be boxed for their next promotion. And then what you do is just start stacking under that person so that you have a really built chart. That's just me personally. Other top leaders run their businesses totally differently. So however you decide to do this is totally up to you. Again, this is me personally. But having said that, out of those 15 people, will you guys drop a 1 in the comments if you guys are paying attention and listening? I just want to make sure everybody's not asleep. See lots of distracting things happening. Okay, perfect. So, shoot, what was I saying? Somebody catch me up. Oh, having said that, let's say since I'm a mass enroller, right? Like I typically on a given month, double my steps to success. That's what I would consider normal for me. So it's like 6 to 12 customers and at least like 5 to 10 distributors a month is kind of my normal. There's, again, everybody's journey is different. What you enroll is totally different. But out of those, let's say 15 distributors that I enroll that month, only 4 of those are going to work over the next 6 months with me. So that's kind of where my statistics lie. You're going to find your own numbers as time goes on. But I just personally know I need to enroll those 15, and I will run with whoever's ready with me. And I'm just getting people in the system. That's my main goal. Like I get paid to enroll distributors and I get paid to enroll loyal customers. So that's what I'm focused on. Okay. No, you guys are so good. I just wanted to make sure that everybody was awake. Okay. And then let's talk about, I want you to write in the comments really quickly what it makes you feel like when a distributor tells you that they no longer want to do this, regardless of how long they've been enrolled, whether it was an hour, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. I've been there. What does that make you feel like? Do you feel the bubble in your chest? Do you feel like it's about you? Okay, crushed, like a failure, really irritated. I love this. I love how honest everybody's being. Disappointed. Totally. I felt all of these things too, y'all. Trust me. Okay, so here's where I was going with this. We're going to circle back around to where I was when I started. So when you start to feel these things and you start to like somebody quits and these things in your body start coming up, these thoughts start coming up, I want you to remember and to remind yourself that you're making it about you. And I catch myself doing that a lot as I go on through this business, is you're disappointed. You are irritated. You feel like a failure. You are crushed. Well, it's not about you. This is this person's business. And if they don't want to continue, then that's fine. That's not to say that they won't come back. So you have to check yourself the second that you start feeling that and be like, okay, number one, what is this person going through? How can I relate to them? How can I feel for them? Number two, does it really matter that this person's quitting? As long as they just turn their e-suite off and you show them how to do that, they're not going to get charged anything. And if they decide to come back, they don't have to repay the startup cost and wait 90 days. So just so you guys know, if somebody calls customer service and says, hey, I want to quit, I want to cancel all of my stuff, they're going to completely shut off their account. You can no longer use them for a box, and now they have to wait 90 days before they can rejoin you or somebody else. This is a really good thing because it reduces people distributor hopping. So let's say I enrolled with somebody, I didn't like them, I wanted to switch to somebody else. Well, when somebody switches, it's not just that person. If I left and like, let's say I switched from Rochelle's team to Carrie Young's team, it can't work like that because my entire downline would be coming with me, right? Like that's ripping a quarter of somebody's business away. So they just don't allow that, which I personally love. Because too, like, I don't know, well, we can get into that later, but anyways, oh, perfect. Sorry, I'm like getting distracted with the comments. Anyways, so check yourself to remind you that it's not about you, that it's about this person. And again, they may come back. I can't tell you guys how many people have turned off their e-suite, and they say statistically that like every 6 months something happens or something drastic in your life happens and something changes, right? So you never know when is going to be the right time for somebody. Okay, so are you guys feeling a little bit better as we're going through this about like how to feel when a distributor quits? And I'm not saying to like tell yourself you're human, you're gonna have emotions, you're going to feel that initial spark of like a pit in your stomach, right? Everybody's gonna feel that, but just remind yourself those things. Take 20 minutes, walk them through how to turn it off correctly. So they'll just go to e-suite, go to settings, go to subscriptions, and then they'll turn the e-suite off there, and then they can go to auto ships and cancel. So that's how they turn this off. And this is recorded, so you guys can always go back and watch that too. But settings, subscriptions, cancel. That's how they turn their website off. And this will allow them until the next fiscal year closes and they close inactive accounts. It will stay open. So they have like almost a year to where they can still join. And yes, you can still use their box this way. So let's say you enroll 3 distributors. If all 3 of them do what I just showed you, they turn off their e-suite and they turn off their auto ship, they're not getting charged anything and they're not getting a paycheck, but you are filling their box because you're worried about going Ruby, right? And you need each of them to be over 400. So you're going to be placing your customers there and stacking distributors under them to bring up that group volume. So that's why it's so important to talk to your enroller or your upline too about when you're enrolling things and where it should be placed and all that. Okay, so this is so good. Anyways, y'all, I really just wanted to touch on this. I don't have, like, this isn't going to be a super lengthy Zoom, but I just wanted to, I feel like it's something that everybody goes through, and it's things that you guys are starting to see now as leaders and as your team comes up, and it is frustrating, but you just have to keep pushing. And part of the reason why it doesn't affect me anymore, it took probably 6 months for me not to feel that like pit in my stomach when somebody wants to quit, because I am so damn confident in where I am headed in this company with or without you. And that sounds so rude, but that's just how it is for me. Like, I love you guys so much. And I hope to God that every single one of you comes with me. I really do. Like, I want it so bad for you. It's not even funny. And I want you with me, but I can't want that more than you do. So if you're not willing to come with me, I'm going anyways. And I'm sorry, sis, but I'm not staying back for you. And when you're ready to come, we'll pull you. But I absolutely refuse to drag dead bodies. So make that kind of your motto too. You know, like, you know, if you want to go diamond and above, that you're going there with or without them. And I'm so sorry, and I'm ready, and I'm here open armed when you're ready to come back. But at the end of the day, this is what keeps a roof over my head and food in my kid's belly. So I will treat it do or die, you know? Okay, do you guys have any questions before I just like keep rambling? I know this, you guys, I'm getting over being sick, so my head is like everywhere today. I feel like I'm all over the place. I heard this phrase once, and it's always kind of stuck with me, and I say it now, and it's super cheesy, but I've just heard always in this business, or any business, you have to pray people in and pray people out. And sometimes you just have to recognize that this might not be for them, or they might get to a certain rank and get complacent and fall and never start doing it again. Or they might, you know, like, you can't dictate where your team goes, but you can absolutely lead them in the right direction by running from the front, by getting your enrollments in, by getting your haps up, by doing the leadership calls, by getting on stuff like this. That's how you lead your team, right? And whoever, you guys, the people who are excited and want this as bad as you will come with you. Look at the people who are on the Zoom with me right now. It may have taken me 2 years to get here, but there's 20 plus people in that leadership chat. There are tons of people who are less than 500 from Ruby. You guys are here. I found my dream team, and you have to give yourself the time and the consistency in this business to pray those good seeds in and pray those good seeds out. You don't want the people who don't want this on your team. I know it sucks when they quit, but you have to let them go. You don't want them anyways. You're going to feel like you're pulling teeth to get them to work. You're going to feel like you're talking them off a ledge every day. It is so emotionally draining and like physically draining to drag your team like that. And inevitably, you're just going to push them away further. I will not convince anyone to join this business, and I will not convince you to work. That's just not how I roll. And so if you have to kind of pick which one you're going to be. Are you going to be the leader who is just dragging these people who don't want to go with you and aren't ready for that promotion? Or are you so focused on enrolling new people and so focused on going diamond that the fact that they're quitting, perfect. Like, that's a 30-second conversation. Here's how you cancel. Where's my next distributor? Where's the next person who wants this as bad as I do? Where's the next mom who literally cannot buy diapers for her kids? Where's the next college student that is drowning in debt to where when they get out, they're so fucked, it's not even funny? Where's the next, I don't know, person who is actually totally good and makes enough money but is just not happy with their job right now and just wants to do something different? Or people like Julia who just literally want to travel the world and be like stress-free. It can be any of those categories, but that's what I'm looking for. That is what I'm focused on. And when I'm focusing on all of that, the people who are quitting, like I said, is a 30-second conversation. That's like sweat off my shoulder. What do you mean? Like, you're tripping about that? If you're tripping on the people who are quitting, you're not focused on what's next. You're not focused on bringing in those new people. You're closing them off. Your doors are now closed. So be looking forward, be looking ahead, be staying in the present now and not focusing on the past. Yay, I'm so glad. Does anybody have any questions or anything? Like I said, I know I'm all over the place and this is like super cash, but I just really wanted to touch on that. I feel like I had other notes too. Hang on one second. No, Olivia, don't beat yourself up about it. She said, I feel like I'm sucking right now. We have so much amazing things going on and I'm just sicker than a dog. I've been there the last 3 days, and that's partly what I was touching on this morning on my live before Oakland like started throwing a fit, is just that, you guys, every day is going to look different, and there are going to be times where you're sick. And Connor literally had to look at me yesterday and be like, babe, they'll be there tomorrow. Go to bed. Like, you need to take care of yourself or you're going to prolong this an extra 2 days, and that's just unnecessary. Like, just go to sleep. So what I made sure to do, because I never go a day without working my business, regardless of whether or not I am glued to the freaking toilet. And that's like zero exaggeration for any of you who don't know. So I will make sure I get a post up for the day. I will make sure I am interacting. I will make sure that I am growing my network. I may only get 35, 50 messages out that day. And does that suck? And will that affect my business? Yes, but my health comes first. So do the bare minimum on days where you're feeling like complete crap. But I'm not talking emotionally. I'm talking like physically ill. Okay, these are things that I do when I'm sick. And then I'm done. And then I'm listening to self-development, and I'm really just like, I'm napping all day. I'm like replying to my team when I can, you know, like totally give yourself grace. But on the 5 seconds where you feel good, send 3 messages. On the 10 minutes where you feel like, okay, I'm not about to throw up right now, put your post up, you know, like it's just going to be, it's going to suck, and it's going to be in certain times, but I know that my goals are so huge that I can't go a day without working this. Like one day off is a trickle effect into a week of losing potentials and like not keeping that funnel full. Yeah, any free time that you have. And then shoot, I was just going to say something else too, and I totally forgot. God, my mind is everywhere. Oh, the other thing too, I was going to say emotionally, right? So when you're emotionally a wreck, my day also looks very different when I'm physically sick. Like when I'm having a really bad day, I've had to learn over the last 2 years, and it has crushed me in the past, but I've learned to go through this. And so you guys will too, is you cannot work your business based off of your feelings or how you're feeling that day or what's going on. Like you will never get anything done. I promise you will very unlikely go double diamond or above. Like there's just no way. You have to work your business because your goals are so mighty that it crushes your anxiety. Like you guys, I have such crippling anxiety some days that I can't get out of bed. And I still work my business throughout my times because I'm listening to self-development. I'm doing the things, I'm meditating, I'm taking time for me. But I also know that if I want this as bad as I do, I have to do it. And like I said, this actually is do or die for me. And like you'll get to a point in this business. Like I'm not joking when I say Connor does not make enough money to pay the bills, you guys, and he works 60 plus hours a week. Like our main source of income is from me and this team. And that is why I take this so seriously, because it actually does mean food on the table or not. It does mean electricity or not. I don't have a 9 to 5 to use as a crutch. I don't. And I refuse to go back. So when you get to that point too, it's just like you start to treat this so seriously. It's disgusting. Granted, I have so much fun. I have so much more fun doing this than I ever did at my 9 to 5. I have met some of the coolest people. You guys are literally family to me. I have been able to pay off so much debt. I've been able to do like spend time with my daughter that I literally never thought I would actually be able to have. And like now with baby number 2 on the way, like I literally don't know what I would do if I was working right now. Like this wouldn't happen. We wouldn't be in this house. We would not be living here. We would be so broke. It's not even funny. Like it would be so bad. Like this is the answer to all of my problems. And that's why I preach it so hard. And that's why I'm confident in it. And when you guys decide to go full time with this, and some of you already have, some of you have decided to make this your full-time thing. Some of you have been laid off and have been like, okay, this is no longer a plan B for me. This is plan A. And when you make that shift from this no longer being a plan B or a side hustle to you, and there is no other option but this, you make it work. And you don't care about the distributors who don't quit, meaning you don't let it affect you. Obviously you care and love them with all of your heart, and you're there for them when they decide to come back. But you can't let it eat you alive. Otherwise you will inevitably, you're just doing it to yourself. You're self-sabotaging. You're self-sabotaging your enjoyment of this business. You're self-sabotaging your promotion because you could still get it with or without them. Yeah, do everything out of love. I love that. Yeah, it's not a mean thing, you guys. And these aren't things that I tell them, but these are things that I have to tell myself to stop feeling this way. Like I would never tell somebody like, oh yeah, by the way, I don't care about you. Like, here's how you turn it off. Sorry, not sorry. Peace. You know, like, no. I love them so much and I'm here for them, but I can't let it affect me. And I do tell people, you know, like it's time to sink or swim. Or I understand that you want to quit, but I'm still going, sis. Like just because you stop doesn't mean I'm stopping. And you guys, as you get higher up in these ranks, it's not just a 400 box that quits. I've had emeralds quit. I've had diamonds quit and stop working. I've had people who were on this team literally for almost 2 years completely cancel out their account, which means you have to completely replace that leg or pull somebody up. Okay, like huge things have happened in my business, and I don't tell you that to scare you, because look at where I still am. Like, you're going to go through the valleys, you're gonna go through the hard times, you're going to deal with difficult people. That is reality. We are dealing with all different kinds of personalities, and we have to learn as leaders how to adapt to best lead them, because again, it's not about you. If you're a red and you're leading a yellow, you need to turn down the switch. You need to turn it down a little bit, or you're gonna scare them away. If you are a green and you're talking to a yellow or a blue and you're giving them all the information at one time, you will overwhelm them and they will quit. If you like, that's why you got to know the colors, and you got to know how you need to show up for them, not the other way around. They're not showing up for you. You don't need them. They need you, and vice versa, right? Meaning, of course, you need them. And like, as you go up, I need you guys. But my point is that you can't let it affect you so much. You make me laugh. I don't care about it. Yeah, I would never say that. If I did, I hope you guys would chew me out. Okay, again, I know I'm all over the place. Drop a 1 if you're like getting any sort of value from this. Okay, good. I'm just like, I cannot even keep my thoughts straight. But I really wanted to go over this because I know so many of you are dealing with this even right now. Like, I've had to talk a couple of you guys off of a ledge the last couple days because of other distributors on your team. And what you have to realize is that your business is up to you, and you have to decide where you're going and the work that you're putting into it. And what I will tell you is that some of you, not all of you, of course, but some of you will come to me talking about your paycheck or about the people quitting on your team and how you're not getting where you want to go, or like any of these things, right? And it just makes me think about, what are you focusing on, right? Like, where is your attention going? Are you, no, thank you. Come here. I lost my train of thought. Guys, I swear, I'm all over the place. Yeah, your attention. What was I talking about just before that? Oh, when you guys come and complain to me. Okay, so number 1, what are you doing every day? Like, I can't tell you how, when we've gotten down to the nitty gritty, and this isn't pointing a finger at anybody because I've been this person before, but you're asking your team to do things you're not doing. You're asking your team to show up as a diamond team when you're not showing up as a diamond leader. Are you doing your 6 list twice every day? Are you listening to self-development? Like, what are you doing? How much time are you spending on this? How many haps are you getting up? How can you ask your newbies in our training to send 100 hat messages when you've sent 20? How can you tell your team to complete their steps to success every month when you're not completing your steps to success every month? And you guys, I promise you, because there's only been 2 months in the entire 2 years that I've been in this business that I've ever not completed my steps to success. And it was because I let my foot off the gas. If you're not enrolling at least 6 loyal customers and 3 distributors every month, your mindset isn't there, or you're not doing the effort, period. Like, there is no way around that. So it's not a bad thing, and I don't blame you for that, and I'm not mad at you because you're not doing that. But if you want these things and you want this team, then you got to start doing it, right? And some of you are. Like, some of you are so on fire, it's not even funny. Come to me with like a good mindset and you want to fix it, and that's great. You know, I'm here for you either way. But what I want you to recognize is that you can't ask others to do something you're not willing to do. And you can't expect a $500, $1,000, a $2,000, a $4,000 paycheck with this company if you're not doing the work. Like, why would Mark write us a check? Why would Mark write me a check as a double diamond and my husband as a diamond, because I built his leg? Why would he write us an average $6,000 a month paycheck if I'm not doing my steps to success? Like, I'm seriously asking. As a CEO of a company, when you say these are the basis, this is what you need to be doing bare minimum every month, and I'm not doing it, how can I expect a $6,000 paycheck? Like, that's just a little bit conceited, right? Like, I can't do that. So again, you control your paycheck. I know every single person on this team, I know for a fact, can complete their steps to success. It's either a mindset that you're not there yet, and that's okay, we can work on that, or the action, and that's okay, because we can work on that, right? So if you feel like you're truly doing all the things, your mindset is there, you're working your butt off, I want to see exactly what you're sending. I want screen recordings of the last 200 messages that you've sent out that no one's replied to. I want to know what that message is, because I want to help you. And if you are truly, truly doing the things and feel like you're running on a hamster wheel and not getting any results, then we really need to talk, because you're going to get burnt out really quickly and you're not doing something right. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because it's fixable. But we have to figure out what that thing is so that we can oil that wrench a little bit and it starts going, right? The enrollments will come in. The majority of the time, it's a lack of follow-up. The majority of the time, it's not following up enough or consistently or quick enough, and not having that relationship with that person, right? That's the biggest thing that I see. So if you're not doing those things, just start doing them. It's so simple. It is so simple. And I'm going to post in the comments of the live that I did on the 2020 push page today. I want to remind you guys of those 3 pictures that Amber put in the Success Squad a while ago that I uploaded. But since my Facebook is down, you can't see them. But it's walk, jog, and run. And it's 30 to 60 minutes a day, an hour to 2 hours a day, and then like 3 to 5 hours a day. And it says minimum results, average results, awesome results, right? So depending on how much time you can commit each day and how quickly you want to achieve your goals, it's going to be based off of these following actions. And it gives you a 6 list of what you need to be doing. And it talks about what you should be focusing on as far as how many haps you should be getting up, how many new potentials you should be getting each day, how much self-development you should be listening to. The one thing that I would suggest changing on it is that even on like on the run one, it says like 30 minutes of self-development or something. I say no less than 60 a day. Like, control your first hour of your morning and listen to it, or when you're on your way to work or whatever. 60 minutes is a really good, like, if you're only doing 30 minutes a day, you're not even finishing a full podcast. Right? So I can't imagine that would be enough. And I can actually promise you from my own experience that it's not. I do so much self-development, it's not even funny. And that is the only reason that I'm where I am today. Like, both in my personal life and in my business. Like, I was so lost before self-development, you guys. My anxiety was horrible. Like, things were bad. So those are kind of my tips. And when I promise, like, I will promise to you that if you get the mindset thing down and you truly work this business and you start enrolling and completing your 6 list every month, I guarantee you in the next 90 days, you will absolutely start seeing results. Both you and your team will be enrolling more. I literally, you guys, the second that I put something in the chat, or one of you guys put something in the Boom chat of somebody getting an enrollment, it is like immediately 4 enrollments after that. Have you ever noticed that? Like, it's like we totally don't enroll for a whole 24 hours. Nobody enrolls anything. And then 1 person enrolls a loyal customer and 6 more people are enrolling that day, right? Like, it's just a domino effect. And when I'm not working my hardest, or even just like every single day, and I'm not being consistent, which I always am, but not consistent in my actual 6 list, it shows in my downline. I don't know what it is. I don't know what voodoo magic got working on with me and my downline, but it is everybody's team. You guys don't even have to see it. I guarantee you there's been days, especially over the last 3 days, granted you've known that I was sick, you've been like, wow, Lex is really quiet. you know, or I haven't heard from Lex in a few days or whatever. You know when I'm checked out. You know when I'm not excited. You know when I'm sick and feeling like crap, whether I tell you or not, right? And it's the same thing with you and your team and me to you or you to me, right? Like I feel it, you feel it, we all feel it. So don't create that elephant in the room, just do it. And like I can honestly say that the last year of my business, there was like my first 9 months where I was pushing really hard. I went diamond. I got to double, and then my team was working really hard and I kind of fell off. And then the opposite. And I can honestly say that over the last 11, 12 months, I have been so consistent and showing up for you guys and myself every single day, and it shows. It shows. My volume went from 23,000 to 16,000 real quick when I stopped working. I was almost triple. I could have been triple that next month, and I took my foot off the gas, right? And you guys did too. So now we're rebuilding because I created that consistency and I created a vision and I told you where we were going and I'm showing you how to get there. You have to do that for your team. Cast the vision. Show them how to do it. If you enroll a loyal customer and you have a chat with your team, scribble out the customer's information to keep their security like private, but show them how you enrolled that loyal customer. Show them the dialogue between you and that person and say, oh my gosh, you guys, I just made an 80 BV order for this person. I'm so excited. I wanted to show you exactly how I got this. Or help your newbies create posts. You get what I'm saying? I hope that this is making sense, but I promise you that you will get where you want to go if you give this enough time and enough consistency. Like the only difference and the only thing standing between you and where you want to go is yourself and your decision. And you have to know where you're headed, right? You have to have a goal in mind. Does anyone have any questions or anything before I close out? Again, I know I've totally been rambling, but I'm just speaking whatever comes to mind. Like it has one shoe on the wrong foot and is like walking around. No questions? No questions? Do you guys feel better after that? Do you feel like you can power through even if no one's working? And there is a whole nother training where I was not all over the place. And it is literally called on YouTube, I think. Or not, I think, but it's on my YouTube. I think it's called My Team Quit and I Have to Rebuild, I think is what it's called. And it's on my YouTube. And so if you've ever felt that way, or if you feel like now there's no one working on my chart, go watch that. And my one tip that I want to leave you with, if nothing else, if you take nothing else away from this Zoom, is be so focused on your promotion and on welcoming new people that it doesn't matter who leaves. Okay.